Hello everyone and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie and I will be your guide for today. Today I'm going to do some tarot and channel messages, and this is all going to be about what would your soul want to say to you. I actually changed the title yesterday, but it didn't change, so that's okay. I just changed it then. I just feel like the soul wants to speak through to us. And I think that there's a collective, like the soul to me is source energy, really split into many fractions. So we all have different journeys that we've gone on, but there's like collective messages that come through from the soul for all. And so I'm just going to do a general reading on that. And then after the general reading, as per usual, I'll do some free chat bar readings for those that turn up in the chat bar. I'm changing my time. It's a bit later than usual, but yeah, I'm just going to see how this all flows, and I might even do some different days as well. Hey, Miramelli, good to see you. Good morning, good morning. Before I start though, just want to say that I have a $20 off discount on my 1 hour general readings. If anyone wants to have a 1 hour general reading with me, then just book at the moment, and it's going to be for the next week. What's today? Wednesday. It was actually going to close at the end of this week. So yeah, that's what's happening for that. It's been up for a week already. I've already got quite a few readings, so that's fun. And just so that I can help those that are not as wealthy, but I always do free chat bar readings anyway for those that don't have the money, because I want to just get these messages out, and obviously do these lives as well for everybody. Hey, Dadra, which is more important, more important, but I still have to live. Okay, we're going to get into this, and I want to create a story through tarot first. As well as I'll channel the messages through, and then we will go into the oracle cards as well. So what does the soul actually want to tell us at the moment? I'm getting really comfortable. So that's interesting. I'm already feeling like the soul's saying, please make your life as comfortable as you possibly can through these transitions. There's a big transitioning that's happening, and it's happening for it's literally been happening for a wee while, but it's ramping up, and it's just going to keep on ramping up until we get this new story developed within our consciousness, and we are aligned back with our feelings again. So that soul is bringing through this message of, please allow your body to feel as comfortable as possible. Get those soft sheets, get those soft pajamas, get a cuddly toy if you need to go to sleep with, if you don't have a guy. Literally what I've done. Go back into that childhood memories of who you were as a child and what would make you happy, because that is more conducive to aligning with the soul. It's not about the bling bling and the having to be looking like a certain thing or anything like that. It's nothing to do with outside of you. When it comes to the soul, it's all to do with how you're feeling. And then when you're happier, you don't seem to need to attack others or prove to others or anything like that. That falls away. And when that falls away, you're automatically aligning yourself with a true story or a real story that's aligned with your soul. That feels good, because the soul is all about feeling. Okay, one card has popped out, but it is face down, so I don't know what it's saying yet, but I'm sure that the tarot will help us and bring through some more of the story that's aligning us. I'm also getting a message as I'm shuffling: be the observer of your life. Constantly reflect, come back, be the observer. Constantly, when you are the observer of your life, you can direct it a lot easier as you move along as well. But taking into account your feelings and the observer. That's interesting. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards all face down in front of me. Let's see what they say. So the first one is the Ace of Cups in reverse. So Ace of Cups to me is all to do with feelings and taking back the power of the feelings and the emotions, aligning your emotions with your feelings. The cup runneth over, they say. Like the soul is saying, the cup runneth over. And the runneth over is a story. Let the stories fall away that aren't conducive to this new creation that you want to create. And the new creation is all to do with who you are in your world, who you desire to be in your world. Let the water flow. Let the story flow. And let all fall away that's not conducive to the new you that you are aligning with, which is coming from your heart. So the Ace of Cups is all to do with the heart and that feeling base. They're showing me, see the below, there's psychic fish. The psychic fish are returning. So the psychic fish are returning. That I see. So now they're bringing me to when I had a incredible encounter, a vision quest, and I ended up going into a cave, and it was, long story short, let's just say I went into within myself. I went into another reality, and that other reality I was being taught from a higher consciousness point of view, where I literally walked into a field of green, and there was a river with a bridge over it, and this little boy coming up to me, showing me that he could stop the fish and he could change the stories. And he showed me that the fish that was coming through this river, this emotional river, this feeling-based river, was the stories that we have been holding on to, and they are all shifting. The psychic fish are returning. So the psychic stories are returning to humanity at this present moment. And that is the magic that we had held in the times of Lemuria. Before the times of Atlantis still had those stories running, but the times of Lemuria was before, and before that, and before that. And they're showing me a whole heap of series of times where the feminine was learning all about the feminine side of ourselves, the intuitive side, the imaginative side, and the psychicness. And we literally had developed a society that was more light-based, because that's was ruling with the soul, and the soul is conducive to all. So the stories needed to flow a lot easier, a lot better. Anyway, there's a new story that's developing, but we're also bringing in what we've already learned about the logical mind, which is grounding a physical story in this world, and how that works in a limited way that makes the story very solid. So we're learning to bring back the intuitive side of ourselves, but we're still doing the solid story of, if you do point A to point B, then it equals point C. In other words, if you get in your car, then you can drive to your workspace instead of teleporting. But they're saying the psychic fish are returning, so you'll have the decisions. You will be able to decide whether to teleport or use the car, that sort of thing. So interesting how the story is developing conducively with what we've just learned, with the logical mind being in charge and the feminine mind being at equal, even Stevens coming together. Anyway, so we've got that happening. To do that, and they asked me to turn the next card, the Page of Wands in reverse. To do that is a vulnerability that's coming within one person that's holding that stand of changing the narrative or the story, where it's a vulnerability of, I'm going to shift myself into somebody new. I'm going to take back the staff that lights my way, that the action, do the actions in this physical world that might seemingly look crazy or nuts to somebody else, but I know it is something of value that I want to bring into this world. So this is a vulnerability that humanity is going through at the moment, and the soul is asking us to be vulnerable with these new stories coming through. So then we have the Knight of Cups. See, look at this. We've gone from the Page of Wands, a page, to a knight. Now we're on our steed. Now we're on our horse. They're bringing me to, before I went to Uluru, I had a premonition dream, and I was sitting upon a white horse, and I had something to give to the world. And I know when I ended up in Uluru, I ended up in the actual mountain, and all these beautiful stories that I had held for humanity's consciousness were pouring into the mountain, and it was all to do with our potential, humanity's potential. I was literally feeding earth that. So there's something about us riding the white steed, riding our allowing the soul to be the guide. So the white stallion is the guide, is the soul guiding us, and we're sitting on our soul. We're being taken to somewhere else. They're showing me that he also has armor on, but as in, I'm still going to keep my armor on until I know I feel completely safe with this steed, with this horse. The armor isn't about those that are coming towards you in a war or anything like that anymore. It is about, I feel a little wobbly on this stallion. I don't know if I can trust it. Can I trust it? That sort of thing. As I'm moving along in my mind, they're showing me riding, because I used to ride a lot when I was younger, and always had that nervous kind of apprehension of, oh my God, what happens if a plastic bag blows in front of the horse? Then the horse is going to get spooked, and I always have to be just that extra prepared. So we are still, it's okay. The soul is giving us a message of, it's okay to still feel like you need to have that armor on to feel prepared, just in case you fall off, because you might fall off and have to get back up and that sort of thing. So in other words, we might fall off the trust game of trusting our soul directing us to a new story, and then get caught into somebody else's story of doom and gloom and drama and all of that, especially with our family members, people that are immediately around us. And then we're like, no, come back to center. I'm trusting my story. It's a different story that I'm developing over here. So there could be this touring and froing still happening. So the soul is saying it's okay to feel like your logical mind needs some sort of protection through this transition as we move along. Now we have the Empress. Everything's in reverse. So really interesting. So the soul's like saying it's still reversed. We're still playing that logical game more than what we are the soul game. But we are getting there. It steps towards the right direction. The Empress is telling us that we're getting there, because she is completely connected to her soul. She knows the value of that soul wisdom that drives a whole beautiful story of you being an empress or an emperor or whatever, or you being of an empowerment, you being the master of your life. She knows that so well. So in reverse, it's like, yes, we're still not quite there, but we are definitely getting there. And it's only because the power to be is trying to slow the story down that we are creating, but it's not going to work anymore. It really is not going to work anymore. Like, that was already scripted in the concept of humanity coming back to source energy. And I just did a channel message on that before this live. So I'm going to put that up on my YouTube soon. And that's it, enough. The truth is coming out. Like, this is the truth. This is humanity's truth. And that channeling was beautiful. It was talking about a looking glass and everything. So I'm going to give that one to you soon. I'm actually still, editing it at the moment. Okay, so we have the 8 of Cups that's come through too. And everything was in reverse. Now, funnily enough, I've turned most of them around the right way. The only one that isn't is the Ace of Cups. So we are flipping the narrative slowly, but this is the 8 of Cups. We're walking away from the illusion of what we thought the story had to be. So all of these cups here are representing the story that humanity has been holding on to. Oh my God, that person, that entity, that company, that whatever is ruling us with all these laws and rules and restrictions. And we're slowly starting to say, no, we're not going to focus in on that anymore, because the more we focus in on it, the more we fuel it. The more we get angry with it, the more we fuel it. That's literally how they suck us in, or suck our imagination into their story. We're starting to develop our own sovereignty of connecting to our soul, as in a white ball. I'm seeing this as a pearly white ball of called Narati when I was working with Parisha, which is source energy, which is the Cherokee elder I was working with, as well as the illusion. What are we not seeing within the value of our soul's connection? So our soul is like, it's, if we put it in a logical way, it feels like it's just out of our reach, but every now and then we have a go at it, and like we get on that white horse and we ride it for a moment, and then we're out of reach again. But we are turning away from that isn't serving us, which is bringing us closer to our soul's understanding, a collective. So there's a collective that they're bringing through. There's a collective that's doing this together, even if they are far away from each other around the world. There is a collective that is doing this together, and they all have different stories developing, but it's okay. It's more the conducive feeling of feeling good and trusting that you don't need to know all the answers, that the soul is directing you through this feeling of feeling good. Yeah, but there is a collective. I feel like there's a couple more that need to be popped out here as well. Hey, thanks, Celtic, again. Always there. Hey, Annie, good to see you. Okay, I'll pop out a couple more and see what happens. Soul story. So at the moment, yeah, 2 more. I thought it was 2 more. No way. Sorry, this is so cool. So yeah, wow. Okay, so we have the strength card that's come out. So this is going to take a bit of, it's funny. Strength to the logical mind and the program that we've been pulled into. Strength is everything to do with, this is going to be hard. This is going to be tough. But the soul is showing me strength is to do with facing your fears with love. And see, there's a lion and she's like hugging that lion. She's not afraid. When we approach even the worst of animals through the love of ourselves and knowing that we are deserving of staying here, then they will not eat us. That soul is saying that there's a conducive understanding, telepathic understanding between all that lives on conducively on this planet, that if one soul has the strength to know that their value is worthy of being here, then the body will stay here. And there will be another story or narrative that will play out where it will take the attention away from, say, if you're walking up to a crocodile, the attention of the crocodile will be taken by something else and it won't see you. There's something about that. Something about the strength of humanity coming into alignment with their own sovereign self, and so they won't be seen by those that they have been fearing all this time, which has kept them in their in that fear-based story. Because when we're turning our value inside out and we're starting to see the narrative can be changed to such a value that our frequency aligns with a completely different story. And that means that those that we are afraid of are not those to be feared anymore. We are of equal standing. We just keep shifting the story so that they're not in our narrative anymore. They're showing me a quote that I put up recently on Facebook to do with the imagination being held hostage by those, and we're taking, and then they put us through a school system and stuff like that, and said by the age of 11, nobody's allowed to use their imagination anymore. This is 3 or 4 guys that pulled together in early 1900s and tried to stop, because they knew that they had to stop humanity's imagination from becoming empowered. Why? Because we would imagine them out of existence. We would imagine the fear out of existence, and we'd start taking on a different storyline. And if we started getting sucked back into that fear, we just go, you know what? It's going to sort itself out. The money's going to come somehow. The job's going to come somehow. I'm trusting my soul as lining me up with more and more and more. This is the new strength. This is the new strength. And it's came through with the Emperor. So that's so cool because, like, hello, we have the Empress and the Emperor here. So the Emperor represents that logical mind finally taking its natural place of supporting the Empress in this physical world, being there to make it the Empress feel safe in the physical world. But the Empress, she helps the Emperor feel safe in the etheric world. So both are needed as we're moving along. So we're literally, it's so cool because we're shifting the story, right? If we take these all in line, we've got the one that walks away, and then we've got the Empress and the Emperor. So we're walking away from a story where these two, sorry, I just got to get these two together, that these two were fighting before. And when in humanity's consciousness, these two were warring, who's better than who has the most, I don't know, stable reality or story or whatever. And there was a fight within our own minds of don't trust the intuition, don't trust the imagination, only trust everything physically outside of us. And now it's like, okay, I have to take a back seat. The physical, the masculine has to take a back seat so that the intuitive mind shifts the story to a value that's feeling good. And so these two start to acknowledge, we start to acknowledge, our relationships start to acknowledge the position of where we're supposed to be as we move along. The program starts to slot into the program from our own consciousness starts to slot into a balanced nature of conducively. They're showing me a figure of 8 combining the physical world and the etheric world together, and it's a haven is going to be grounded on planet Earth through these new stories being developed. It's very exciting, and getting this ringing in my ear at the moment as well as I'm channeling this too. So the soul has literally just been sitting in the sideline waiting for the right time to be acknowledged again. It's always been there. It's who we are, but just to be acknowledged as the spiritual side of oneself that will play out a whole new story. I'll get a couple of oracle cards as well. I know that unicorn on the thumbnail is beautiful, isn't it? Celtic, bringing back that magic. Excuse me. Okay. We have one that's popped up. Your internal spirit, higher self, sacred intuition. This is literally our soul. Like coming back to the central self. But it's not just about, okay, I'm going to meditate for the next 10 years and I'm going to be in connection with my soul and I see all these imaginings and beautiful places I can go to etherically within me. No, it's also to do with, we need to also get up, move through our life, create grounded things in this world for us to have a beautiful playground. We want to create this into a beautiful playground. So what is that? Now, I'm getting this message of new businesses that are forming that are going to be delightful for humans to experience, and many that are working quite hard in a logical way, in a masculine way, are like, oh, I need a respite, I need an adventure, I'm looking for an adventure. And all of a sudden these other beautiful businesses coming out that are just absolutely delight to experience, where they weren't even allowed back in the days when we were, completely closed off from our soul. They have been grounded, and so it's going to be more fun, a lot more fun coming up in our reality. And also choose the stories, choose to follow people that have the best imaginative story that works with you, that feels good for you. Choose those people to follow as you go along until you've figured it out yourself and you can ride your own horse as you come along. Now, the soul is also bringing up the chakra points, and they're showing me when I was attacked once, I literally saw all my chakra points balling into one ball of light between my sacral and heart chakra and exploding out. And I was told then that the new awareness of oneself is going to become white light. So it's not a split so much as it's going to shift us into many more colors or many more chakras or many more, both ways. And it's, yeah, there's going to be a new value to like a literal new species being developed through this, but it's actual returning home of one's consciousness back to source energy, and understanding that all infinite imaginings are possible to be grounded, depending on what focus you're focusing on. Achievement. We have achievement. We've won the race. Now, I am sitting here 100%, right? There is no doubt in my mind that we are moving towards winning this race, because it's already won. All we're doing is playing it out now. It's nothing more than that. It's already, the fall is going to happen. And I don't know how it's going to happen exactly, but we need to create a story where the fall happens, where it's conducive for humanity. We don't want massive disasters and stuff like that to happen. So let's create a story where that just kind of fades out, right? And we win the race because we're now focused in on creating something really beautiful here. I love that this card has come forward, even in the oracles for us. We have the shamanic healer, the cleansing, and the attunement. My shamanic guide is an eagle, so that's really interesting that there's an eagle behind her head. And I always see the eagle as representing someone who can observe from a higher point of view and observe the story as a whole, and then see different parts of the story being observed and all different truths happening. So there's something about new truths coming through, and it's going to heal us. The new truths that are coming into humanity is going to heal us. Understanding where all that had gone wrong was the fight that we had within ourselves was playing out outside of ourselves. And that's why those that were in charge seemingly were the masculine, because the masculine side within ourselves was in charge. So we've got to see that for the narrative of what was being experienced from within us. So it's going to be more conducive where those that are guiding us are collaborating together, feminine and masculine. There'll be feminine and masculine that will guide together. So a lot of people are going to come into their soul mates, their soul partners. Those that have done the work are going to find their soul partners to do this next step, because they have found it within themselves. And that came out with the wisdom of the Magi, mental clarity. And so magic is going to happen. They're showing me these fish again, the psychic fish that are coming in. We are grounding magic into this world. So a magician in our story, the one with the flying carpets and all of that, and the Aladdin's lamp and all of that sort of stuff, all those so-called magicians and all of that, they existed in an experience with people that were believing still in their soul's magic. And so it was part of the narrative of the story of the history of humanity, but now we're bringing it back. And so then that will be the birth of the magic or the magician in this world. But we will see them as not a magician or somebody as an entertainer, so much as somebody who's showing us the path, the way forward, a guide. So, yeah, a grounded magician becomes the guide for others. That's why we're going to see people coming out with so-called magical abilities that are now saying they actually are telepathic. They actually can move things with their mind. They can change the story, that sort of thing. And they will be so-called entertainers for a little bit. I have talked about that in past readings as well. So, yeah, all beautiful stuff. I'm just seeing what I'm reaching for. 3 wise men in astrology. Interesting. Celtic. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, they were the ones that brought the gifts. So they have the gifts for that was innocent. the baby that was innocent. Interesting. That's the message that I'm getting at the moment. Never saw it like that before. They followed the light. They followed the higher benevolent beings. They followed those. They had an understanding that they needed to follow their soul. Or their soul was connected to those higher benevolent beings, and so they followed it to give gifts to the innocent. And the innocent are those that are coming straight from their hearts, right? That's why, and many times we've seen stories develop where a baby will be in the forest and the wolves won't eat it. They will bring it up because that baby had so much love within itself that it was never going to be eaten. It was something that was needed, and the wolves knew that. There was a telepathic link with that baby, that child, and the innocence of it. It was no threat. And when you're coming from love, you are no threat. Things attack things when they think there's a threat. So interesting message there as well from the soul. Soul's advice. Okay. Let's see what else comes up from these cards. These are one of my new packs. It's called the Mystic Forest Oracle cards. I love it. You will get there. You will get there. You can't force flowers to grow or plants to sprout. Be patient and respect that everything's happening in its own way and time. You will get there. So you will develop the businesses that you really wanted to ground. You will get there. And it's funny, they're showing me things taking a while and then boom, everything falling into place. And then things taking a while, boom, everything falling into place. They're showing me that. And that can happen with the soul, It's like, it literally is like magic. It gives you that excitement too, a feeling of the journey, but it's showing me instead of the journey just going round and round in a circle like this over and over the same path that's been really boring or really just horrible drama, too much drama on it, on all of that sort of stuff. And then shifting to the soul's path, and they're showing me a pulse. When we're in line with our soul, things happen like a pulse. So boom, we're there, and it takes a bit of time. Boom, we're there, because they're showing me it lining up with the narrative of the logical mind as well. So we take a bit of time to get things to be really, it's literally us. They're saying it's literally your logical mind that has to agree. So it can take a bit of time for your logical mind to agree, and that's why it takes that much time. So that's divine timing, right? In the end. Okay, I'll get a couple more cards out. I'm going to get fortune teller, because I love these fortune teller ones. See what else wants to show up. A magical moment will change everything. Be ready. So this is why we're getting these messages coming through in the tarot and the oracles. It's because it's like the get ready is logical mind, get ready for magic to happen, because it's going to happen. If we sit with the logical mind being in charge, it's not going to happen. But because we're shifting our story focus into something, well, maybe this can happen. Maybe there's possibilities of my imagination that's imagining the best scenario is actually going to come true. And then boom, it will happen. They're showing me that. So this makes total sense with what I just channeled. Magical moments will change everything. Be ready. I love that. I love it when the oracles go with everything. Hey, Javier. Aloha. Anything else, please? Okay, we have a forgotten promise will be fulfilled. Be patient. So that literally goes with this other deck that says you will get there. Be patient. It will happen. The patience it literally is just you deprogramming a program within your mind. You're deprogramming something. And so the patience is, okay, I've surrendered to the fact that that could happen, that we could actually have this magical moment. I'm surrendering to it. And a powerful ally will help you, achieve your goals. And that's that soul tribe, that soul connection that's coming together, the masculine and the feminine. If you're a masculine watching this, the feminine will come in. And I'm not calling it your female, male, whatever, doesn't make any difference to me. Like when we go out into space and we go talk to benevolent beings, there are all sorts of different like there are all sorts of different sexes and stuff like that. So I'm not even worried about that. I'm just talking about masculine and feminine. For myself, I need a very strong masculine with me because I'm very much a feminine. I'm really in that creative, imaginative thing, and I need somebody in my world to ground things. So I'm looking for somebody who's more masculine, that's open to listening to me as well. So see that in your story. What's your story that you're working on? What are you trying to find a balance to when it comes to somebody outside of you? Because I love being in this feminine world, but I know to ground things, I need the masculine's wisdom as well to be able to ground things. So I do see that a lot of us are going to partner up with friends, romantic partners, soul tribe members, all that sort of stuff. And it's going to work wonders as we start to create these new stories together. So I would be asking, what's your story? What's the story you want to create when you get to choosing the next partner? If you are single, what's the story you want to create? And if it's in alignment with yours, then you're more likely to ground this, right? If they are the opposite, as in feminine, masculine. You could be both. You could be really conducive with yourself as strongly feminine and masculine. And you'll find somebody else outside you that is as well. See? So it's just a balance that's happening because the balance is happening from within us. It's nothing, one's not better than the other or anything like that. It's the story that we're developing here. Yeah. A veil of mystery surrounds you. Embrace the enchantment. So I'm seeing a letter being written by the soul. Okay, so it's probably the soul saying, write down. Imagine like having a connection to your soul. Your soul is connected to all possibilities coming true. Now, take a pen and write your name, and then I see a story, or I imagine a story of blah, 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 blah. Thank you from the soul. That sort of thing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's another thing that you can do to ground the soul into you more. And then you can read it every morning or something like that to stabilize it. Now, the soul is also saying, even if you stabilize that in the moment, that was conducive to the moment that you wrote it. So please be aware that things can change. And don't hold on to anything, because the soul is a fluid thing, malleable, and it moves with the energy of the whole of the consciousness of humanity as well as your individual consciousness. And so when one moves, the other is affected. And when you move, the whole is affected. And so when you write these stories down and you're like, I'm really feeling good about that, you can change it up. You can, like, I would burn that one and then write a new story. But it is good for grounding of something when you haven't got a stable feeling of, I need to ground a whole new story because I keep on getting my mind hooked into the old story of doom, gloom, drama, jealousy, blah, blah, blah over there. Okay? It's just a nice little extra thing that we can do as well, that the soul wants to bring through. Okay, guys. I think, there is quite a bit at the moment that's happening. I'll tap into just right now, just before I start the free chat bar readings. because I feel like right in this moment, we're going through a bit of a topsy-turvy sort of a space. And it's like things are a little sticky when it comes to our outside reality. So not working as fluidly as we would like. I'm just going to ask a question about that. It's happening a little bit in my life, not much, but I'm seeing it a lot on other people's posts and stuff. See what's happening there. Just in this moment, what's the soul's message? I'm using my Osho deck for this. What's the soul's message in this moment, please? To help or to understand what's going on. What's going on? Okay, so we have participation. So there's a collective, or there's a consciousness that's shifting. Consciousness is shifting into success. But here we have the burden, all that you have been carrying that's not conducive to you. There's something to do, the innocence and beyond illusion. So I think the stickiness is humanity keeps on loading themselves up with the doing too much and getting back into their mind and getting stuck there. And it's loading you up to, it's where the souls are saying the rooster used to be light and you hardly even noticed it. Now it's like, it's cockadoodling, it's crowing loud in your ear, and it's really annoying. So that which you didn't notice before is becoming very noticeable now. It's showing up, and that's why there's a card of beyond the illusion, because it's showing you what really isn't suiting. And I think humanity thought certain programs was our personalities. It was the story. It was meant to be that way, but it was never meant to anything that is in alignment with the true value of oneself is going to stand out big time. So that stickiness is something to do with that. I see it as coming up as payments that won't go through, or like things going a little meddly, showing me Mercury in retrograde, that sort of scenario happening as we're moving along just in this moment. But it's also showing us where that which we thought didn't really matter to be carrying is a matter of fact now that we need to let go of, and keep using those moments that feel sticky to sit still and shift the story. Use the small moments. So in other words, if you going along your day, you are expecting some money coming through from something and it's not coming, and you're holding on to that story of it never will come on time, then they're saying use that to see if you can shift it to, of course it's coming. It's coming within 1 hour. It's going to be here, and I'm letting it go because I'm not even going to think about it anymore, and it's going to happen. So they're showing me using the story at the moment that doesn't really affect you too much. It's going to happen anyway, but use it to see how you can shift your story in smaller increments as you go along. Then you can move towards even bigger and bigger and bigger success as well. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Now, if anyone wants a free reading, I am opening my chat bar to free readings. Just say yes, please, or whatever in the chat bar. Then I know that you are wanting a reading. That'd be good. Okay, shuffle these cards. Yes, we all need to get out of our own way. Yeah. Okay, Celtic. Celtic, 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 Celtic. Celtic, you have the moon, an illusion, and the 9 of Wands that's come through. All the hard work that you have done, they're showing me you looking back and seeing all the hard work that you have done, and they want you to come to a point where it is no longer affecting you when you look back and go, oh my God, I've gone through so much. And then it kind of brings up an emotion of victimization or feeling so sad. And they're saying, now is the time to stop that illusion. Now is the time to go, yes, that happened. Okay, I accept it now. It was what it was in the past, and I have gone through a lot. I've worked on a lot, and I've gone through a lot. Like this person in this card is usually he's bandaged up. He's gone through the war and back, but he's holding on to. There's all that he's worked on. All of the efforts that he's done in the past lives and all that sort of stuff. They want you to make it very clear that's the end of that. Okay, I'm not going. You'll still get fed back into it every now and then because something will remind you. But just be aware of it and shift it as quickly as you can to a new story, because yes, it happened. They're even saying you could even do a little celebration for it, like light a candle and go, thank you, South, for all of that hard work that you did up till now. But I need to let it go so I don't keep falling back into feeling a victim to it. So that's your message for at the moment, Diane. Diane Johnson. Diane Johnson. Okay, so Diane Johnson, we have the World coming up. Like dancing. I really see her dancing. She's got her batons and she's dancing. She's feeling free. Something about you dancing through this next stage. Yeah. And this card was just sitting on top, but it looked like it wanted to slide out. So I pulled it out anyway. So there's something that you want to pull out in your reality, and that's the 10 of Cups. Emotional stableness, the family environment's really happy. You have to show them the way by you being happy within yourself. And they're acknowledging you as a child, being happy as like seeing yourself as being happy as a child, you being happy it's from your feminine side, your masculine side, everything, like just inviting that goodness, that juiciness within you and dancing through your life. And you're going to end up helping all the other family members see you in a different light, and you are respecting who you are. You're no longer taking advice from others because you know thyself very well. Something to do with you moving through your life like that instead. Yeah. Okay, so that's for you at the moment. Maramali. Oh, like two fell out then. We have the Knight of Cups and we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Talk about the same cards that had come out that was in the general. So that general reading was really for you in a big way. So you are getting ready to ride the horse, the soul. Ride your soul like a magnificent horse as you're moving along. You're getting ready to let go of enough of this emotional burden that you've been filling your cup with to get on this horse. So there might be something too that's coming up for you where you have to be in the right place at the right time for something specific, as your energy is needed there, like a pulling to a specific location on Earth herself. Are showing me, Uluru again for myself in 2011, and then. Yeah, but you're like pulled to a certain location where you need to ride the horse. You're trusting your soul now in this next moment. Something that you're gifting Mother Earth or opening up, or frequency. It's showing me you sitting down or kneeling with and then something to do with the magic of the world, or you feeling into the magic of Mother Earth, or something to do with that. It's helping the frequency of humanity's consciousness connect again. It's pretty powerful. That's pretty big. Okay, Mahamali. Who else have I got here? Monique. Arieli. Monique. Try not to get in your head too much. There's a tower moment that's come in reverse. So this tower moment will be for the benefit of you. You are the one taking the leap this time. You're not letting life take you down a road to a point where you're like, I want to hold on to everything through my, fear games and all that. And then all of a sudden, everything gets ripped away from you because it's not conducive for your soul. They're showing me you taking a leap of faith into this next. No, I know what's good for my soul now. I know what's good for me. I'm the one leaping. I'm the one making, and that's going to bring you a gift of some kind, or some sort of a grounded abundance. No way. Before I even turn the card over, some sort of grounded abundance. I love this channeling when the cards match it, right? Yeah, some sort of grounded abundance that's coming your way because you've decided to take the advice of your soul and jump or leap off something that's not working for you anymore. And when you do that, abundance is going to be gifted to you, some sort of grounded something tangible something that's going to be gifted for you. Love it when the cards do that. Mind you, I am channeling, so... Okay. Diana Spy. Diana Spy. Diana Spy. Diana Spy, we have the Two of Swords that's in reverse. They're showing me you dropping into the illusion. Even though you have your blindfold on, you still are seeing through something. The light is too bright now. You're going to have to put down the swords. You're going to have to face whatever this is. Something that's coming for you. They're saying, get the fortune teller cards. So I'm getting the fortune teller cards for you. And we've got the veil of mystery surrounds you, embrace the enchantment. It literally popped out the same card for the general as well. So some sort of enchantment, something is coming for you. You're starting to see the magic within yourself that you can develop. They're showing me like this in the card where they have concoctions and stuff that's all in these in a cabinet or something, and it's like, I know what this one's for. This one is the blue light that I stole from the stars. It's like they're really going into enchantment here. I opened up the vessel, and then the blue light of that I stole from the stars is now encapsulated in this bottle that I know. And they're showing me you being the bottle. You are the one that's taken the veil off. You're opening the vial or something to allow yourself to escape into the wonderland, back to the stars again. Understanding that there's more to you when you're involved in the infinite possibilities of your imagination. There's way more to you, way more scope. You're bringing in magic and into this world through you becoming the magic. Full on. Full on. Yeah. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. But that was full on messaging. Yeah, if anyone wants a one-on-one reading with me, an hour reading with me, full on, it's $20 off at the moment. So yay. Okay, who else have we got here? Lucky 33. Absolutely, I've got time. Absolutely. Lucky 33. Okay, so we have one that's fallen that's not the right way around. So we've got Page of Wands, stepping into a new you. Stepping into a new you. What's the new you? Moving on, letting go, freedom. The new you is free. The new you is free to do action. Something to do with an action that you want to do, or business you want to ground, something you want to actually ground in this world. You want to do something in this world. And you're free to do it now. Like the energies are rallying around you the energies at the moment are rallying for you to do this. It's conducive now. You are because you've transformed enough to feel this. Conscious steps, yeah. Consider action, looking forward. Right underneath that card, the freedom card. And that's the feeling that I was getting from this card, is the conscious steps that you're moving forward now. You are considering action for this next step, this next business alignment that you want to do. They're asking you, take a step, even if it's a little one, towards it. You'll feel good about it, then take a bigger step, then take a bigger step, then take a bigger step. It's going to gift you, no way, the card that's pretty much underneath that is prosperity, abundance, success. Okay, so that's for you, Lucky 33, Tama. You're welcome, Diane, Johnson. Tama. We have the High Priestess, and it's in reverse. Much power. Literally showing me Star Wars. Much power in them veins. They're showing me Yoda and Star Wars. There's much power in those veins. That's so funny. Tama. So yeah, you're learning to become the magical wise self, some wisdom pouring through you. Showing me the Akashic book, the records, the Akashic records, which is you. When you tune into your soul, you know a lot. You know a lot more. You know a lot more. You know a lot more. Yeah. When you tune into your soul, it's kind of like me. As soon as I started tuning into my soul and channeling messages, the wisdom is just infinite. But something to do with Akashic records. That which was held, that was hidden, will now be revealed, and you will get the messages of that which was held, that will be revealed. You'll need to in this next stage to become the full through this, though. And there's also a rebalancing of your mind. So Two of Pentacles, somebody who needs to balance themselves out before this High Priestess can be turned upright. So there's still some work to do. Literally the Fool comes out because the logical mind's like, I don't want to be seen by the outside world as a fool to do this. And yet that is the path of the soul. So yeah. Oh my God. Hey Javier, thank you, Bobby, for all you do with the heart. Yeah, you're very, very welcome. I love doing it. It makes my soul sing to be able to give these messages out as they come through. And yeah, I'm just happy to be able to help. It's very cool. Star Wars Yoda. Thank you, John. Did I say Star Trek? Probably. I love them both. Star Wars. Yoda. Yeah. Okay. I think we've come to the end. You're very welcome, Cherie. Sometimes I speak so fast I don't even know where the time goes. Okay, guys. Yeah, look out for the next message, because the next message is all to do with the real truth of humanity's consciousness and where we're going. And it's very cool and eye-opening. So look out for that next video. I'm going to publish it in the next couple of days. Plus, soon I will be publishing on my YouTube, not just my Amicable, but I'll be publishing the Stepping Through a Portal to Pleiades Part 2. And that's all done through AI. I've never worked with AI before, but it's a magnificent little movie of giving you the feeling of being on Pleiades, which is something that we want to ground more into in this reality as well, because it's part of our history. And so that's coming soon on my channel. And I think that's about it. Yeah. And that's right, for my school Amicable, I'm just putting up little bits and pieces of games at the moment, but I am thinking of doing a new lesson about how to channel. So yeah, I'm feeling pulled to do a lesson about how to channel for the silver members. So I love you guys. Here's until next time. Bye.